everyone, this is your OG, Original Gamer, and this is another Godforge video. Today we are going on a deep dive of gamer personality profiles. Which profile do you align with the most? You'll need to stick around to find out. What does this teach you about your gaming experience? We'll explore it all to optimize your gameplay. We don't want to miss a minute. So let's optimize. All right. So we are starting out this discussion about gamer personality profiles by discussing the three main core game design themes, okay? This is the first one. It is immersion exploration theme. So players' focus is around connecting with and relating to the game's narrative and environment. They want to know the story and the plot of the game. They want to know the growth and the evolution and the arc of the characters. And they want to know how much can they customize the players and the world around them. This is immersion and exploration theme. Second is an achievement or mastery theme. So the focus for players here is on advancement and enhancing their abilities and their status within the game's world. Okay, key elements involve leveling up or progressing to higher levels, completion of missions, gaining mastery through practice. And then the third is action and social themes. So the focus is more on dynamic and interactive modes of play and emphasizes stimulating experiences that involve other people, engaging in cooperative and competitive gameplay with others, intense gameplay situations that are thrilling or high stakes, and even dramatic destruction, witnessing or causing significant and exciting destructive events within the game. That is also an element of gaming and game profiles. So we will talk more about the big 5 personality traits, okay? So these are have been identified as the big 5 personality traits for gaming profiles. So number 1 is openness, like the openness you have to experience, for openness to intellect or imagination. Are you more imaginative or are you more logical and uncreative and just want to like grind through it like a machine? That is sort of a measure of your gamer personality. Conscientiousness. Are you efficient and organized in your gaming, or are you haphazard and careless? How much intention and mindfulness do you put towards your gaming? Or do you prefer to game where you just do what you do and that's fun for you? That is a measure of your gamer personality. Extroversion. How outgoing are you? How bold and energetic are you versus shy and bashful? This will shape your gamer personality and whether you like to be in highly competitive spaces or if you prefer to be in highly cooperative spaces where you can work together. Agreeableness. This means how sympathetic and cooperative are you versus cold and competitive? How much are you about clanning up versus being solo? This is a piece of your personality, gamer personality. And lastly, neuroticism. What is your emotional stability? Are you moody and nervous, or are you relaxed and calm? This is going to play a role into your gamer personality. All right, so what are the primary motivators for you as a gamer? Why do we game? Okay, creativity. That's the first one. Design and discovery fall under creativity. So this includes the aesthetic appeal of gameplay or being able to customize, being able to explore and tinker and experiment with the world. All of that falls under a creative motivator. You enjoy the creative aspect of the game. Some people enjoy the immersion of the game. They like the fantasy. They like they have a desire to be someone else or somewhere else. There's a little bit of escapism there, and they like that the game gives them that escape. Some like the story. They like elaborate plot lines and interesting characters that evolve, and for them, it's more entertaining that way to follow the story, and they like that. Mastery. So this is for folks who like challenges. They want a game that puts difficult challenges that require skill, strategy, and they enjoy overcoming these challenges. And then the second part is strategy, enjoyment of games that require careful decision making and strategic thinking. In the last half of our primary motivators, we have achievement. Some people are motivated by achievement. And then the subclass of that would be, or the sub-motivator or secondary motivator would be completion, the desire to complete every mission, get every collectible, discover all hidden aspects of a game, really do 100%. The second secondary motivator under achievement is power, desire to gain importance and become powerful in the context of that game world. If that can be a secondary motivator. So another primary motivator is action. Now this one is interesting. A lot of people poo-poo this or don't like that. Folks like to have games where they can destroy things, where they can just unleash chaos and mayhem and destruction. But we're going to talk about it in a later video called Why Your Anger is Good, but Your Vent is Bad. Okay, and what I'm going to tie in this video is how why not have your anger vent be in a video game where nothing is real, like you're not destroying anything and you can still get your anger out in the same way. So this is healthy and we shouldn't just, shy away from it. Now, a lot of us don't like many of the destructive aspects that come along with this. They don't like the antisocial behaviors while you're trying to build communities. So I understand, but there is a place for this piece of your gamer personality, and we do need to talk about it. But this is the part of your gamer personality that enjoys chaos, mayhem, and just destroying and laying waste to stuff. So we got to talk about that. That's a piece of it. Under action also is excitement, having fast-paced, intense, or adrenaline-fueled elements. That's a piece to that. And lastly, social. So here you get competition versus cooperation. Both involve other players, either playing against them or with them. Okay, so types of gamer profiles. We're going to go through a number of gamer profiles. So you're going to want to say, does this sound like me? But stick around to the end. We're going to be giving you a really incredible resource to help you discover your gamer profile. All right, so the first type of gamer profile is a competitive gamer, okay? Someone who lives for rankings and leaderboards and bragging rights and outplaying others. Their motivation is victory, mastery, bragging rights, and overcoming the challenge, okay? Types of games they may like League of Legends or Raid Shadow Legends, but there can be competitive elements in almost any game. So traits that you see in a competitive gamer, they're intense, they're practiced, focused, and they thrive under pressure. Their quote would be, good game, GG, but I'll win next time. They're always looking to come back better. Okay, so that is a competitive gamer. That is the first one. The second one is a casual gamer, somebody who plays for fun and relaxation, not so much for the challenge or the rush or the thrill. Their motivation is stress relief, light entertainment. This is a way to take a little bit of time away from the stress of whatever their work or their day already was. Types of games here, Animal Crossing or Candy Crush, stuff like that. And traits, they're laid back, they have a very sporadic play style, and their quotes, just here to unwind, man. Just here to unwind. So that is a casual gamer profile. Now, the next one is a completionist. These are the type of gamers that need to finish a game 100%, whether it be getting all the collectibles, doing all the achievements, or unlocking all the secrets. Their motivation is always about mastery and checklist fulfillment, checking off everything on that checklist. Some types of games, the Witcher series, Assassin's Creed series, where you can spend a lot of time searching and getting 100% of all of these different resources or unique and rare elements. Traits for a completionist, they're patient, they're detail-oriented, and a quote that would describe them, I can't stop until every task is checked off. All right, next is a story chaser, okay? This gamer prioritizes narrative and emotional immersion. Their motivation involves experiencing compelling plot lines and stories, okay? So some types of games like The Last of Us or, how about this? What are some great storylines in games you have played? Leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear those of you who love a good story, what games are the best in that way? So I left it blank here. Traits for a story chaser, they're empathetic and reflective. The quote is, the story sucked me in, okay? Next up, the social gamer. Okay, the social gamer uses games to connect to friends and to a community. Their motivation is always social interaction and teamwork. Some of the favorite games are Fortnite or World of Warcraft, places where you can come together with friends and play in a social setting. Traits to these types of gamers, they're outgoing, they're collaborative. The quote that would best describe them, squad up, let's chat while we play. They want to be connected to other people. Okay, next up is the explorer. This type of gamer loves discovering hidden areas and lore. Their motivation is always about curiosity and trying new creative approaches. Types of games that they might like is like Elden Ring or No Man's Sky. Some traits of these gamers are adventurous and inquisitive, and a quote that would describe it is, what happens if I, try to get behind the game? What happens if I try to do this? Really, what happens if describes the explorer. Next up is the creator builder. This type of gamer is focused on crafting, modding, or designing in the game. Their motivation is creativity and self-expression. Games like Minecraft, Roblox, The Sims are all good for this sort of thing. And traits are they're imaginative and they're patient. It's like, hey, come check out my epic mansion build, or, whatever. That is a creator builder. Next. All right, this is a strategist. So a strategist is a type of gamer that loves to plan meticulously, values logic over just reflexes or, gut reactions. Their motivation is all about intellectual challenges and problem solving. Of course, games like Raid and Godforge are perfect for a strategist type mindset. The traits, they're analytical and they're methodical. The quote is, 5 steps ahead, just to be on time. Like, that's how they feel like they're on time if they're 5 steps ahead. So that is a strategist. And next we have the collector. This type of gamer is interested in gathering rare items or characters. Their motivation is really around ownership and completion. Types of games like Pokemon or Diablo, and are good for this sort of thing. And traits you see are persistence and single-mindedness. They have to be single-minded to a certain degree to get to collect everything. And the quote, gotta catch them all, obviously from Pokemon, is a classic. All right, next up is a role player. This type of gamer loves being immersed in character-driven narratives and worlds, similar to the story chaser, but the role player really likes to dive into the character as well. So the motivation is very much escapism and storytelling. Types of games, maybe D&D, where you can really creatively build a character and stuff like that. Traits, creative and imaginative. The quote would be, well, my orc's backstory is, and they like building the characters. Where the story chaser may like the overall story arc and everything, a role player is more focused on the actual character itself. Okay, so that's the next one. And then we have the speedrunner. This is the type of gamer personality that loves to race and finish games as fast as possible, often with very self-imposed challenges, just to try to challenge themselves and keep themselves trying to go as fast as possible. So their motivation is mastery, breaking records, holding records, obviously. Types of games like Call of Duty and Super Mario Brothers, things like that. Traits, they're precision focused and they have high endurance to get all the way done. Quote, world record incoming. Okay, so that is your speedrunner, very much like a competitive gamer, but with a little bit more of a focus on getting things done as fast as possible versus perhaps maybe trying to do the max out. These are your speed dungeon folks. Okay, next up is a nostalgic gamer personality. This is a personality that likes to relive childhood favorites or retro classics. Their motivation is comfort and nostalgia, so games like Legend of Zelda or Mario or some of these throwbacks that come back. I always loved Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, stuff like that. Traits are sentimental and loyal. I definitely feel like I have a bit of this gamer profile. And the quote is, they don't make them like they used to, and get off my lawn, you kids. So that is the nostalgic gamer personality profile. And next, we have an adaptive all-rounder. So this gamer profile shifts playstyles to suit the game or the situation. They like going between multiple different personalities and styles to kind of give themselves a well-rounded feel and confidence. Their motivation is about versatility and adaptability. How versatile, how adaptive can they become? Types of games they like are Overwatch or Valorant. And traits they show are flexibility and team orientation, because Teams, we always achieve more together, so they learn that utilizing teams helps them become more well-rounded and to cover their weaknesses. The quote is, I'll fill any role, just let me play. And having enough tools to be able to fill in any role is what the adaptive all-arounder is all about. Next up, the griever and the troll. Now, we needed to include this, even though it's not necessarily a positive element of the gamer personality, but it does exist and we have to acknowledge it. So this part of the gamer personality derives joy from ruining other gaming experiences. Okay, the motivation is about chaos and attention. Games like Rust or Grand Theft Auto give a great venue for this to sort of be played out, as well as that very destructive, just wanting to destroy things, and that can be done in games like Grand Theft Auto, and hopefully kept out of games where it just really doesn't work well. Traits of this gamer personality: it's mischievous, it's provocative. The quote is, "Why so salty, man? It's just a prank. Like, I'm just joking." That is your griever or your troll part of your gamer personality. Last but not least, streamer, content creator. Okay, so this part of your gamer personality plays to entertain and educate community members or others. The motivation is all around audience engagement and creating great content. Types of games like Minecraft or Fall Guys are good for this. Traits are they're charismatic and they're audience aware. They're thinking in terms of what does the community want to know? What do they need to know? Quotes are like, hey, don't forget to like and subscribe to Optimize Gaming. Something like that. Okay, so we are going to finish with... Now, most gamers, okay, are a mix or a collection of some or several of these gamer personalities, okay? And you can change or adapt depending on what you're experiencing, what environment you're in, what game you're in. So I'm going to drop in the link below a link to a really interesting gamer profile test that you can go and take. If you go and you take it and you drop a link in the comments below giving your gamer personality, then you will be entered to win a $30 gift certificate to Fateless's merch store, okay? So your OG, I came out as a gladiator, proficient, driven, and socially focused is what it said, okay? So go click the link. It's Quantric Foundry. It's a science-based game motivation, game personality test. Go take it. If you drop in the comments below what you got, you will be entered to win a $30 gift certificate to the Fateless merch store, which is awesome. So that is, and you can see here my personality. I had mastery, achievement were very high levels, social was very high levels, immersion, action, or that destruction was very low, creativity was on the mid range, but very much so in the social, mastery, achievement level. So that was my gamer profile. All right, folks. Well, this was fun, and I hope you learned a little bit something about yourself and your game experience. If you like what your OG is doing, hit that like button. If you want to see what crazy thing I'll put on next, then you'll want to subscribe and set your notifications to all so you don't miss any of our daily videos. Thanks for stopping by. Take care of yourself, and remember, play smarter.